Right, okay, so it's Sunday morning now, and it's about 9 o'clock. I'm fishing on Church Lake. I've moved around into one of the popular swims, Salt Circle, behind me here, fishing out into the lake about where? Just out into the middle. You see Carp Dog Dave in the background. Filming this weekend, it's gone absolutely superb. You'll be able to check out the video footage in a couple of weeks on South Coast Rods. Fishing hasn't really gone to plan. That being said, we've had good fun, but basically, sorry, the planes are going over, you might not be able to hear this, but the first night I was up at the top bay in Church. The fish rocked up first thing in the morning. I think I've already covered this on a video, but fish rocked up first thing in the morning. They were showing all over the place in the open water at the entrance to the bay. I thought, oh, there's a carp there. I thought, what harm could one cast on top of a make? And it made a world of difference. Like, the fish literally just disappeared off out of the bay and into a neighbouring swim. So lessons learned from that one: don't cast on fish in Church because they don't like it. After I did that, there was a little swim. If you imagine that, sort of like this is Church. Well, further up the lake behind you, this is the boat pool behind me here, and further up you've got a corner of Kingsmead 1. And there's a little sort of old swim that was behind, looked lovely for stalking. Basically, I crept up behind a tree and I was baiting a little margin spot about 2 foot from the bank. And then first off, a couple of stockies came in, and then all of a sudden on Saturday morning, a few bigger fish came in, including, I think, what was known as the upfront common. It's one of the biggest commons in the lake. It's certainly the biggest common I've seen feeding at my feet on a spot. And this big common literally was sucking and blowing. It was taking the hemp, taking the crumb boilie. It was loving life down by my feet. So I was literally shaking. I was like, the cameras are going to be here soon. I was like, how cool would it be to get an upper 40 common on the mat for that? And it looked like it was easily catchable. You know, I'm not saying I would have caught it, but it was game on. And I basically got the rod, crept out from behind the tree, crept down to the water's edge, waited for it to move off. It circled around this bush. I lowered the rig in, turned like this to walk back, and as I turned my neck to walk back, nailed onto the tree, facing on the right hand side, was a no fishing sign. And I was like, no, you're kidding me. And it looked like the no fishing sign was meant no fishing in the bay to the right hand side of that swim, because it was an old sort of swim, sort of like sleepered at the front like this. And I thought that must mean that there's no fishing like round in that snaggy bay in the corner leading round on K1. But anyway, I was like, well, I can't, you know, like, if I catch this fish and it is no fishing in this swim, then I'm going to get like banned. So anyway, the common came back over. It didn't drop that time, and I lifted the rod out quietly, ran with Dave round to the bailiff back at the lodge, went in there, and I was like, Vince, I was like, what's happening with that swim behind the gate swim? I was like, you can fish that, right? And it's no fishing in the snags. And he turned around and said, no, G. He said, no fishing, that's Dale's old swim, no fishing from that swim. And I was devastated. Went back, and there was the big common, 230s, tails up like this on the bait, literally there. Yeah, it was hard. That was a hard knockback, that one. So anyway, so I moved into another corner in Kingsmead 1, set the kit up, put some bait on some spots that I found, and basically we went off and did some filming in that swim, just sort of like product shots and stuff. Came back in the early evening, sort of probably about 5-6 o'clock something, only to find that a guy had gone into the swim, which was literally just to my left hand side, and proceeded to cast on top of my spots, and then claim that they were his spots and that you always fish that spot from the swim to my left. Which I was like, well, maybe you do, but normally you don't have someone fishing the swim to the right, surely, because you're fishing the same gravel hump. Anyway, it was one of those where I was like, you know what, you've cast out on top of my bait, fair play to you, mate. If you have a fish tonight, congratulations, because you can't really claim it because you've just been fishing over my pre-baited area for the last 14 hours. So I packed up and I was like, I'm not sitting here next to him. It sort of cut the bay off. I was right in the corner, and with him fishing there and the guys opposite, it meant there was like going to be lines going across the bay, sort of like staggered all the way across the bay. The chances of those fish actually pushing into the corner now was quite slim. I was feeling really confident up until then. Like all day I was like, I'm going to have some fish at night time. So anyway, we packed the gear up, walked back up towards the lodge, and I was like, you know what, let's just set up somewhere, have a social, and get a takeaway, do the product shots, and we just have to knock the fishing on the head. But I came past this swim, the Salt Circle, and it had been vacated. It's one of those popular swims on Church Lake that I didn't really think I'd sort of get in very much this year. So I thought, you know what, why not? Maybe it's fate. I've had a few setbacks this session. So I've dropped in here, put the rods out just on dusk last night. Didn't expect to catch anything last night. You know, it's not a night water, this one. And it seems like a few fish have just turned up on the spot. It's now 9:30 in the morning, and I baited with some crushed and crumbed boilie out there, a little flavoured up with a load of liquid. Oh, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Where is it? Oh my god, my heart's going. Anyway, out there, just over my spot, an absolute clonking great big common just came out. That's the thing about this place. You can literally be, you know, you're sat here first thing in the morning thinking, I'm not seeing anything, there's no fish around. It's going to be, oh no, they're bubbling up as well. I mean bubbling up, he's absolutely churning it to pieces. Let me see if I can turn this around. I haven't got my zoom lens on, but basically I'm out towards that middle swim, and he's churning it up. Just that wind line ripple is actually the halfway point. It's funny when it's on the camera, it doesn't look like it, but that's where my bait is, on that wind line in the middle of the lake, and he's just churning up at the back of it. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, it's just, you're zooming in up my nose there, aren't you? Yeah, it's amazing. You can be sat on this lake thinking that nothing's going to happen, and all of a sudden they sort of show up, and it. Normally you get like a yes, you know, like they're on me, I'm going to have one, and then they just bugger off again. But hopefully this morning might be the morning that they don't, and they actually pick my hook bait up. I've had 2 liners, just pulled up, pulled down, only little tiny liners, but that's given me sort of like, again, an indication that there's some fish out there. They weren't savage liners, they weren't like margin liners where it was like pulling up right up and then down. They were just sort of like little twitch up and then slowly back down again, sort of where I can imagine there's liners that are coming from further out in the lake, and where I'm using braid, if the fish are on the spot and on the bait and just sort of like brush through the line, that will indicate on my bobbin there. So yeah, we've had a wicked weekend. I'm waffling on a little bit again. I don't know if any of you guys actually enjoy these vlogs and stuff like that. Hopefully you do. You know, chances of me catching it, it's not a water that you turn up and catch on every time, do you know what I mean? If it was, then it wouldn't be the water that it is, which is a challenge, you know. But I'm trying to sort of like record and my progress through it and how I'm piecing it together and stuff like that. So yesterday morning, like, to have that common feeding at your feet and not be able to catch it, that was hard to take. I must admit, that was hard to take. I think there's a lot of people that are out there that if that was happening to them, they may have thought, I won't bother checking the rules, I'll check later. But I had to go and check them, and yeah, it wouldn't have been cricket, mate, to catch that fish out of that swim. That's probably why she was in there, because she knew it was a bit of a safe haven. But so it was a genuine mistake, I shouldn't have been baiting it. And yeah, I couldn't catch it in the end. But anyway, a few more hours. I might, if the sun comes out, I might go and do a bit of stalking just for early afternoon. I've got to go and meet a customer over in Oxford, drop off a set of custom build high SCVRs that he's had made that look absolutely stunning, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be over the moon with them. So we'll go and meet him this afternoon. It's a bit of a trek. I've got an hour journey to go and do that, and then about 3 hours back home. So got a bit of driving to do this afternoon. But I'm going to keep the rods out and hopefully have a fish from church. All right, take care, guys. Right, how was your luck? Check that out. Just literally put the camera down from doing that last vlog, saying that there was some fish showing over the spot. And would you believe it? Right hand rods, one bleep, absolutely pearled off. I'm not going to lie, you might notice I've changed tops. Because I'm fishing backlids and it's such a savage take, it actually flipped the rod up off the rest. And I had to jump in the margins to get the rod. It was a bit of a... well, a bit comical to be honest with you. Really nice fight in the clear water. Water's cleared up lovely over the last week, and you see a big deep-bodied common wallowing around these lily pads that are in the margins here, and she came up for the net. The bailiff did a lovely job of netting it for me, which I'm most grateful for. And yeah, got the second fish from Church of the Year for me in the net. So let's go down and have a little look, and then we get the camera out. Oh, there she is. Look at that beautiful coloration on it. And she is rather fat. Right. Thank you very much, Horton Church. Right, but as you can see, back up at the lodge here, and yeah, I've got the honour of being able to put a fish in the book again. So we've had a little look on the board. I think let's see if we can find it. Yeah, so it's, let me just see if I'm bringing it in here. I think it's this fish here, Foster's, that one there. So over the moon with that. Couldn't have asked for more, especially on a weekend when we're doing some filming here. So yeah, going to put the name in the book, record the capture, and yeah, crack on. So hopefully you enjoyed that. The stills came out amazing. I'm really happy with those. Yeah, great start. That's 2 fish in 2 weekends, so long way to continue. All right, tight lines everyone, see you soon. These are all the fish that have been out since the start of the year, or since the start of the season, which was I think the 10th of April. So you can see these are the ones that have been out. I really think it's been fished quite hard by a lot of good anglers for about 5 weeks. And there's my 2 at the bottom. Happy days.